A man was horrified to discover that the hotel seemed to shrink every single night. To test his theory, he tied a rope taut between opposite walls of his room. When he woke up, the one straight rope had curved, yet its length remained unchanged. This could only mean one thing. The walls were slowly closing in. He immediately rushed to tell all the chefs about his terrifying discovery. What made it even more frightening was that the hotel had no exit. The staff and guests had been living here for over a decade, and none had ever escaped. If the hotel kept shrinking, everyone would eventually be crushed to death. But here's the strange thing. Aside from Mr. K, nobody seemed to care about this horrifying revelation. The chefs simply banded together and kicked him out of the kitchen. Mr. K was a traveling magician who'd stopped at this random hotel because he had a show in the village the next day. The receptionist was an old woman with one eye. Exhausted from his journey, he'd gone to bed early. But when morning came and he tried to leave for his performance, he couldn't find the hotel's exit anywhere. Where the staircase had been yesterday, there was now just a wall, weathered and crumbling, as if it had always been there. As he stood there puzzled, the pipes and walls suddenly began to vibrate. Pressing his ear against the wall, he heard something like a heartbeat growing louder and closer. The lights started flickering, and bizarre little doors began opening in the walls. Out of nowhere, a band emerged, playing their instruments while advancing toward him. Completely bewildered by this surreal scene, Mr. K panicked and ran. Unfortunately, he crashed right into a waiter and somehow ended up with a serving tray in his hands. Before he knew it, he was mistaken for staff and whisked into the kitchen. The kitchen was crammed with dozens of chefs, and even stranger, the only ingredients were eggs. Every single dish was made from eggs. They arrived on conveyor belts in an endless stream. Just as Mr. K stood there, utterly lost, the kitchen manager slapped an apron on him and put him to work cracking eggs. A curly-haired chef across from him welcomed him with a smile. Mr. K tried to explain he didn't belong there, but Curly suddenly fell silent. Mr. K turned around to find the head chef standing behind him with a stern expression. But instead of cowering, Mr. K started juggling. The head chef gave him a dismissive glance and walked away. All the chefs lived together in one large dormitory. Despite the filthy, chaotic conditions, they found joy in their music. Just as Mr. K was getting swept up in the singing and laughter, a terrible sound echoed through the hotel, like concrete grinding against concrete. But when he looked at the chefs, the truly frightening thing was that they acted as if they hadn't heard a thing, continuing to sing and dance as if nothing had happened.